Guys, welcome to Max Mason Racing, and I'm a EuroNASCAR driver, and I'd like to explain to you how our championship works and kind of show you what the differences between our European series are and with the American series that they run over in the United States, and between a few different series that they run across the world as well. So the basics are the car is different. We only race on road circuits in 2023. And our cars are specifically designed to only race on road circuits, whereas the American NASCARs are designed to race on road circuits, ovals, short tracks, everything that they kind of move across all those different types of tracks. While our cars can also race on ovals, just less efficiently because they're designed differently. We'll start with our kind of calendar. So we have 6 official race weekends, and those have 2 races within them, and those race weekends span all across the European continent, from Spain, Germany, England, Italy, like all around the continent. Our cars are also quite different, so we have just over half the power of an American NASCAR with 400 horsepower. And that basically means we're a bit slower on the straights than the American NASCARs and a lot of series over in America. But the advantage of our cars is the brakes and the tires. So we have a lot of cornering grip and a lot of braking grip. So you'll see over a lap that our cars are pretty fast. And then in the point scoring wise, how it works is essentially first place gets 40 points, second place gets 35, but then from third and below it goes down by 1 point, so it'll be 34, 33, 32, 31. So that kind of lets drivers be more conservative about overtaking, which makes it safer. But the racing is still super close, because when it comes to the championship, literally every single point counts, because in the last race of the championship, we actually have double points. Whereas in most other professional series, there aren't double points at the last round, which makes it super interesting, which basically puts a lot of emphasis in the last round, which leads the championship to be more exciting, because nobody can really wrap up the championship before the last round, because there's so many points up on offer. When a normal race weekend, there's 80 points up on offer for the weekend. On the last round, we have 160 points on offer for the winning driver of both races. Another part of our cars is they are quite small compared to American NASCAR, so they're super sleek. They're super sleek. They're low to the ground, super high angles on the windscreen, which leads to less visibility, but a more aerodynamic car. And then moving from that, there is similarity. So the EuroNASCAR is loosely based off what American short track races would call a late model, very loosely based off, but the fundamentals of the car are basically the same, how they're kind of thought of, and the generic shape of what it is. So it's just a generic stock car, and that basically leads to the cars being recognizable as NASCARs, but they are completely custom race cars built by Team FJ in France. They are a Euro NASCAR, and they come in 4 different brands. The Team FJ brand, which is like Dodge, Ford, Toyota, and Chevrolet. Same as NASCAR Cup Series. And the comparison between a few of the different international series is the Canada Series, I think, is one of the closest towards the Euro NASCARs. They would be pretty. They look similar-ish. They have the kind of same idea around them. One of the furthest ones is the Brazilian Stock Car Championship. It's more of a touring car championship, to be honest. And then the kind of idea is EuroNASCAR is a direct path to Cup Series, but it's more of a path towards late models and that kind of trajectory. But with the improvements of how the EuroNASCAR cars handle and how much power and how fast they are across a lap, they are very fast race cars in comparison to even to Formula cars. They don't keep up with them, but they're in the same playing field when it comes to lap time. The EuroNASCARs are significantly lighter. In terms of kilograms, they're 1,225 kilos. In terms of pounds, I believe that's just around 2,500, 2,600, when the late models are around 3,100 pounds, which I think is equivalent to about 1,500 to 1,600 kilos, which is a significant difference in weight, especially on a race car. That's essentially a Formula car in difference. And then when it comes to sim racing, with the EuroNASCAR, there is a sim model, but it is on a Assetto Corsa, but it is not as accurate as what the actual car feels like. The sim model definitely sits a bit too high on the suspension, so it's quite a bit slower across a lap time, about 1 to 2 seconds, I believe, depending on what lap or what track it is and on what kind of lap times they're running. But it's pretty close to what it is. So if you want to download that, it's super easy. It's just EuroNASCAR Assetto Corsa. If you look that up on Google Chrome, you'll bring you to the site and you can download it. It's got deliveries from the 2021 season, I believe. So it's I mean, it's not fully up to date, but the cars, they work, and I use them as a training platform for what I need to do. And with the Euro Series, it is a professionally sanctioned series. It's sanctioned by NASCAR, and they have from 15 to 50,000 fans attend per race weekend, which is a massive number in Europe. And across the year, that totals to about 150 to 180,000 people, with online viewership up in the millions. So it is a very big and growing series, and yeah, it's a super interesting series. If you haven't heard of it, and this is the first time you're hearing of it, I strongly urge you to go to the website, to go to the YouTube channel, and really check out the racing, because it is super close. It's super competitive, and the kind of level of driving is super high. You'll see names like Mark Goossens. You'll notice Alberto Nascar, very famous Italian YouTuber. So it's a big series that attracts big personalities. And there's a lot of battles up and down the field, and if you want the best kind of battles, you look kind of from last place to the mid pack, because that's when you have either drivers that have had issues, haven't been able to start the race, or have been had bad qualifying, because that can sometimes happen, or had like a failure during qualifying, for instance. And that kind of run from last, going through the pack, is super cool to watch. I mean, up the front, nothing to put it against them, but they're all very evenly matched, which doesn't lead to exciting racing. Whereas in the mid-pack, there's huge variations of performance because of all different scenarios that could happen during qualifying and the previous race. And another way the championship works is, instead of finishing position for starting the grid for the second race in the race weekend, it's based on the lap time of the first race, which means someone can break their gearbox in the first lap, have it repaired or have it swapped out, and set out a lap time to start first in the next race, which provides an ability for drivers to make up championship positions, even if they have misfortune throughout the race weekend. And a big thing with the EuroNASCAR tires is, well, they are huge, 330 millimeters front and rear, which leads to more understeer, but a ton of grip compared to other stock car series, which usually have narrower, smaller tires. So that's the kind of basic rundown of EuroNASCAR. If you're interested in more content, please let me know via Instagram or on this YouTube video. I would be super appreciative, because I'd love to make some content towards EuroNASCAR and kind of explain the circuits we race, how to drive them, and what you can kind of look out for in the championship, some in-depth stories in the championship, what's kind of going on, because as a driver, I kind of get a small behind the scenes of what's kind of happening. So I'd love to include you guys in that kind of world of EuroNASCAR, as you could say, and really get you in behind the scenes and really show off what this amazing series has to offer, because I believe it's a super awesome series that is growing massively, and I think it's better to get into the action now, where we've got a 2023 a year where we've got a lot of stuff to learn, a lot of things to get involved with. And obviously, as a rookie myself, there's a lot of stories that are actually not just the first and second place and third place of those race weekends. There's a lot of stories behind the scenes of what's actually going on. And I think it will be super interesting if you're a motorsport fan. If you're not a motorsport fan, just all that drama and everything behind the scenes of EuroNASCAR is a super interesting championship, super well run, super professional. But even in those lights as you see in Formula One, there is still a lot of stories behind the scenes that I would love to tell you, because I think it just deserves to be told, because it's such an interesting part of motorsport. So, just provide me your feedback. I'm here for all of it, negative, positive, whatever it is. Like the video, subscribe for more content towards EuroNASCAR and motorsport. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to hearing from you in the future.